2:30, we have number 6 Michigan traveling to Maryland on the Big Ten Network. Cade McNamara last week was able to pull off the game against Penn State. He went 19 to 29, threw for 217 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. Hassan Haskins had 31 carries on the ground for 136 yards, and Eric All had 4 catches for 64 yards and a touchdown. Taulia Tagovailoa's stats might look good last week. 29-48, threw for 350 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Penny Bone had 5 carries for 42 yards and a touchdown on the ground. And Chigozine Okonkwo had 8 catches for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns. Michigan is 8-1 against Maryland all time. Last 5 games have gone to Michigan. 2014 is their only win. It was 23-16 in Ann Arbor, so they've never won at their home stadium against Michigan. So what's so interesting about this matchup is Michigan's obviously coming off a huge win against Penn State, which normally you would want to look out for a letdown, right? That would be the sign for a team like Michigan, is you're coming off a huge win against Penn State, where you will come back after Penn State came back and take the lead. You were able to drive down the field and get a game-winning touchdown. That could get you a little bit too excited and a little bit too sleepy on Maryland, especially considering you have Ohio State next week. Maryland's coming off a little bit of a heartbreaker against Michigan State, considering they had many chances in the fourth quarter to make that a 3-point ball game, I believe. At least a 1-possession ball game at the very least, where they had the ball inside the Michigan State 20, I think twice, and they came away with 0 points both times. And that's something you can't have happen if you want to upset a top 10 team like Michigan State. And apparently, again, Michigan, now you do get home field advantage, which is another benefit if you are a Michigan fan, a Maryland fan. Honestly, this is weirdly enough, I think you got to pick Maryland to cover this football game. I mean, it's just like the talent shouldn't be there. Michigan's coming off a game where they're barely hung on against Penn State, and that's going to keep emotions high. You probably think you're better. Plus, you could overlook this game considering you have Ohio State next week, and not to mention Maryland is actually coming off a game where they played well enough to beat Michigan State last week. So I think you got to pick Maryland to cover here and Michigan to win.